We warned the galaxy to stay away. Now they'll learn why. For most species, exploration was a sport, an opportunity to prove themselves, to expand, to conquer. Humans, however, were different. For thousands of years, they had watched quietly from the blue planet called Earth. Unlike other civilizations, humans never rushed. They never sent fleets into space to claim uninhabited worlds. They did not compete for galactic fame. Yet, when the Galactic Union began mapping civilizations, Earth was marked, not as weak, not as simple, but as an anomaly. Every deep space communication channel carried the same message from humans: do not approach, do not interfere, do not test us. It was calm, it was simple, and it was ignored. Most species assumed the humans were scared. They laughed in private meetings, calling it a bluff. "The humans," said one alien ambassador from the Zalax Empire, "they are barely a century old in space travel. They are tiny, fragile, unprepared. Why would they make threats?" The Union, a council of hundreds of advanced civilizations, decided to test the claim. A small diplomatic fleet, unarmed and modest, was sent toward the solar system. Their mission was simple: see if humans were dangerous or not. No harm, no threat, only observation. The fleet approached quietly. Ships glided past the asteroid belts, ignoring the orbiting satellites, scanning planets and moons with light sensors. They did not want to provoke the humans. Still, something felt strange. It began with the readings. Space itself seemed different near Earth. Communications lagged, signals bent in odd ways, even physics seemed to hesitate. The scientists aboard the alien ships murmured to one another. "Perhaps it is a shield," said the Zalax chief researcher. "Some new human technology." "No," said another, a member of the Zorith Council. "It is too organic, too alive. Look at the solar wind patterns. They do not follow natural rules. It is as if the system itself resists intrusion." The aliens dismissed it as human tricks, a psychological play to scare intruders. After all, humans had no known fleets capable of destroying starships. They assumed humans could only bluff. Then the humans finally spoke. Not through missiles, not through fire, but through words, broadcast across all channels simultaneously. Calm, neutral, precise. "You are entering territory you do not understand. Turn back." The aliens laughed nervously. "A polite warning," the fleet commander said. Nothing more. Yet the warning continued. The fleet pressed forward. The communications became personal. The humans addressed individual ships by name, recounting details of their journey, noting the direction of travel, and even the patterns in their navigation. It was impossible. The aliens had assumed the humans could not track them. Now every movement, every scan was known. Something changed in the data. The space anomalies intensified. Gravity waves shifted unpredictably. Time lagged. Signals bent and stretched, sometimes arriving seconds later, sometimes minutes. The alien scientists panicked. "This is impossible," said one. "They cannot manipulate space like this." The fleet commander tried to respond, to communicate further, but the humans went silent. Not angry, not attacking, silent. Then the stars themselves seemed to quiet. The alien fleet, scanning the outer edges of the solar system, noticed a strange absence. Even distant stars appeared dimmer. Space was calm, unnaturally so. Sensors reported slight distortions in the cosmic microwave background. Planets glimmered as though they were not entirely real. "Commander," said a junior officer, I do not understand. It is as if the system is resisting us." "Yes," the commander whispered, unease rising in his voice. "They were never hiding from us. They were warning us." Even as they approached, the fleet could see no weapons, no massive constructs, no signs of aggression. Humans were just humans. Small, fragile, living on a blue and green planet, barely able to survive in their own star system. And yet, the stars around Sol behaved as if they themselves feared what humans might do. Inside Earth, humans went about their work as usual. Cities bustled. Children played in parks. Scientists in orbiting stations monitored the approaching fleet, noting every movement, every decision. They did not panic. They had prepared for this, not with weapons, not with force, but with control, precision, and restraint. Dr. Amina Voss, one of the leading human physicists, watched the screens in her lab orbiting Mars. She saw the alien fleet, small and cautious, nearing the outer planets. "They still don't understand," she said quietly to herself. "They think we bluff. They think we are weak." A human engineer, Lion Chen, joined her. "They will learn soon enough," Amina nodded. "Yes, soon enough." The aliens, meanwhile, had begun scanning the outer planets more aggressively. They wanted proof that humans were bluffing. They expected weapons or fleets or something tangible. What they found instead confused them further. On moons orbiting Jupiter and Saturn, human stations hummed quietly. Sensors detected no weapons, no energy bursts, only a strange pattern of lights, grids, and fields of energy that seemed to bend reality. "What is this?" whispered a Zorith scientist. "It is like nothing I have seen. Time behaves differently near these fields. Light curves unnaturally, particles do not move as expected." The humans were not hiding power. They were containing something, something ancient. Something that had always been here, lurking at the edge of perception, waiting for care, for attention, for intelligence capable of handling it. The fleet did not know what humans were containing. They only knew they were close to the edge of something dangerous. Suddenly, one of the alien ships detected an anomaly, a sudden fluctuation in reality itself. Stars flickered, sensors glitched, gravity shifted briefly. A wormhole-like distortion appeared for a fraction of a second, then vanished. The aliens panicked. "This is no ordinary technology," said their commander. "It is not a weapon, but it is powerful, far beyond what we imagined." Meanwhile, the humans acted calmly. No alarms, no shouting. Just quiet observation, making subtle adjustments to the energy grids, ensuring the anomaly remained contained. The alien fleet, growing uneasy, attempted to send a signal, a formal request for contact. The humans replied in one line, calm and measured. "You were warned. You did not listen. Now you will see why." Even then, no harm came, no attack, no destruction. Only an overwhelming sense that space itself had become alive, aware, and aligned with humans' will. The fleet commander realized something terrifying. The humans were not afraid. Not of them, not of the galaxy. The humans were afraid of what would happen if they failed to maintain control. Every alien aboard the fleet felt it. A sense of respect, awe, and fear. Fear not of death, but of something far worse, reality itself unraveling. The solar system lay ahead, quiet, patient, controlled. A single blue and green planet shone with life, but life capable of holding back forces beyond imagination. The aliens exchanged nervous glances. "We underestimated them," said one scientist. "We thought they were young, weak. We were wrong." The commander swallowed hard. "And if they are willing to warn us like this without attacking, imagine what they can do when pressed." Inside the human labs orbiting Mars, Amina Voss smiled faintly. "They still don't understand," she said. "They think we are small, they think we are fragile, they have no idea." Lion Chen looked at her. "Do you think they'll leave?" Amina shook her head. "No, curiosity always drives them forward, and that is fine. Let them see for themselves. It will teach them faster than words ever could." The alien fleet moved cautiously, now aware that every action mattered. Each movement sent ripples across the containment fields humans had established. The fleet had no idea that their simple scans were already stressing the systems that held the ancient, incomprehensible forces in check. Then, as they approached Jupiter's orbit, the largest anomaly appeared. A distortion, a wave in reality itself, stretching light and space. The fleet's sensors went haywire. One ship faltered, temporarily slipping out of phase with time. It blinked back into normal space a few seconds later, but the crew was shaken to silence. The commander, looking at the display, understood the truth. Humans had never needed weapons to protect themselves. They had something far greater, the ability to control the universe around them without ever raising a hand. And for the first time, the aliens realized that Earth's simple warning, "Stay away," was not just a threat, it was a promise. The solar system waited silently. The humans were ready. The aliens had crossed the line, and something in the stars shifted, aware of every step. The commander's last words before the fleet drifted hesitantly forward were almost a whisper. "Perhaps we should have listened." Hook ending. The aliens had crossed the threshold, and now the galaxy would learn why humans had warned them. The alien fleet moved cautiously through the outer planets of the solar system. Their sensors, once confident, now betrayed them. Jupiter's storms twisted unnaturally, Saturn's rings shimmered in impossible colors, and the asteroid belt hummed with faint energy vibrations. Every step forward was met with subtle, strange resistance. The aliens tried to make sense of it. "Perhaps it is some kind of human defense network," one scientist suggested. "Weapons, shields." "No," replied the commander, his voice tight. "It is too intelligent, too deliberate. We are being observed, not attacked." Inside Earth and the orbiting human stations, the teams were calm. They did not see the aliens as enemies. They had no desire to conquer, no desire to harm. Yet everything depended on human precision and vigilance. One mistake could unravel decades of careful preparation. Dr. Amina Voss sat in the observation deck of the orbital station above Mars, watching the alien fleet move in small arcs around Saturn. Beside her, engineer Lion Chen typed into a console, adjusting the energy grids with careful hands. "Their curiosity is dangerous," Amina said quietly. "They do not understand what they are stepping into." "They are just scouts," Lion said. "Nothing more. They will leave soon." "They won't," Amina replied. "No one resists curiosity forever." And she was right. The aliens had already begun scanning the outer planets more aggressively, looking for signs of bluffing. They expected conventional weapons, huge energy beams, missile platforms, or massive human fleets in hiding. What they found instead shook them. Across the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, the sensors detected grids of faint energy, lines, curves, and geometries that seemed alive. Light bent unnaturally. Particles accelerated then paused, and the airless void itself seemed subtly altered. "It is not a weapon," whispered one Zalak scientist, pointing at the displays. "It is containment." The aliens did not understand. Containment. What could humans possibly be containing? In orbit above Saturn, humans were monitoring the same anomaly. Lion's fingers hovered over the console. "They are too close," he said. "Their scans are disrupting the field." Amina's expression was calm. "Let them see. They need to learn. They will understand eventually." The aliens, oblivious to the human calculation, continued. One of their ships sent a probe directly into a containment field. The probe's sensors immediately overloaded. Time readings became impossible. Space coordinates shifted. It reported impossible physics before cutting out entirely. "Commander," one alien shouted. "The probe, it is gone, not destroyed, just gone." The commander swallowed. "Pull it back," he ordered, but the probe did not respond. "Impossible. It is as if the field consumes our technology." On Earth, the human teams were tracking the probe's disappearance. No alarm sounded. No panic. Instead, subtle adjustments were made across the grids. Each human mind was part of a network, millions of people, from scientists to engineers to artists, all connected through quantum computation systems and neural interfaces. Together, they maintained a delicate balance across the solar system. The aliens did not understand that humanity had discovered something ancient. Long ago, humans had found entities that existed outside normal reality. They were not alive in the usual sense. They did not breathe, eat, or age. They existed in patterns of energy, thought, and chaos. Left unchecked, These entities could destabilize entire star systems. Most civilizations, upon discovering such beings, had tried to control or weaponize them. Humans did not. They had learned restraint. They had learned patience. They had learned how to anchor reality itself, using a combination of intelligence, creativity, unpredictability, and stubborn determination. Now, the alien fleet was unknowingly testing that restraint. On Titan, one of Saturn's moons, a small energy ripple appeared, a pulse in space-time. The aliens thought it was minor, but it was not. Even a small disturbance could cause the ancient entities to stir. Sensors across the fleet picked up gravitational anomalies, faint but increasing. "We need to withdraw," shouted one Zorith officer. "These fields, whatever they are unstable." The commander hesitated. He had underestimated the humans from the start. "We cannot withdraw yet. We must understand what they are hiding." Meanwhile, on Earth, humans continued their work. Children played in parks. Scientists watched holographic maps of the solar system. Engineers adjusted containment fields with precision. Every action mattered. Every mind contributed to the stability of reality itself. Then, without warning, one of the alien ships inadvertently triggered a field disruption. The ripple spread through space like a wave, bending light and shifting gravitational patterns. For a brief moment, stars twinkled unnaturally. A distant comet appeared to vanish and reappear. Communications across the fleet faltered. Time itself seemed to hesitate. The aliens panicked. "Commander," shouted a Zalax scientist, "space is broken. Our instruments cannot read reality." "Stay calm," the commander said, though his voice shook. "We do not yet understand what is happening. It is subtle but powerful." The humans were calm. They had expected this. A sudden surge in attention, a small misstep by intruders. They had planned for such eventualities. Adjustments were made across energy grids, neural interfaces, and quantum networks. The ripple stabilized. Reality resumed its normal patterns. Amina Voss looked at the display and nodded. "They are learning," she said softly. "The galaxy will remember this moment." The alien fleet began to realize the truth. Humanity had never needed weapons because they had something far greater, the ability to maintain order across forces that could not be understood. It was not brute force. It was intelligence, foresight, and endurance. One of the alien scientists finally spoke, voice trembling. "They are holding something back, something immense." "Yes," said the commander, "and we have crossed the line." At that moment, a new anomaly appeared near Uranus. The alien fleet watched as a shimmering wave of energy twisted across the void, bending light, shifting gravitational fields, and altering the course of small asteroids. It was a sign that the containment fields were being tested. Humans responded instantly, not with aggression but with precision and care. Adjustments were made. Energy flowed through the grids, neural networks synchronized, the anomaly stabilized. The aliens stared in disbelief. They are not attacking. They are fixing it." "Yes," whispered one scientist. "They are protecting something." And that was the moment the aliens understood. Humans had not stayed isolated out of fear. They had stayed isolated because the universe itself depended on their vigilance. Amina turned to Lion. "They are beginning to understand," she said, "but do you think they are ready to see everything?" "Not yet," Lion replied, "but soon." The alien commander, meanwhile, had made a difficult decision. "We will continue," he said. "We need answers, but we must tread carefully. We cannot provoke them further." The aliens moved slowly, almost reluctantly, through the solar system. Every scan, every observation, risked triggering events they could not control. Every movement reminded them that humans were not simply another species. They were guardians of something ancient, powerful, and incomprehensible. And still, humans made no hostile move. Their actions were calm, methodical, patient. Their focus was not on the aliens. It was on keeping the balance. The alien fleet continued to inch forward, scanning carefully near Neptune. Then one ship's sensors detected a small anomaly, something deep in the void beyond Pluto. It pulsed with faint energy, like a heartbeat. The crew stared at the readings. It should not exist, said one scientist. Yes, said another, and yet it does. Humans, they are keeping it in check. Back on Earth, Amina smiled faintly. They will see soon, she said. They will understand what it means to ignore our warning. The alien commander, looking at the readings, whispered to himself, "We thought humans were weak. We thought they were young. We were wrong. They are something else entirely." At that moment, a final, subtle disturbance rippled through the fleet. Not violent, not destructive, but undeniable. Reality itself shivered. The aliens could feel it, not through sensors, but in the silence of space. Humans had never lied. Their warning was not bluff. It was not empty words. It was a simple statement. Stay away, or reality itself may judge you. And now the aliens were beginning to see the first taste of truth. The alien fleet drifted near Pluto, cautious and uneasy. Their sensors flickered. Reality itself seemed to bend, shimmer, and tremble in ways they could not explain. Every instrument reported anomalies, gravitational shifts, time distortions, light bending in unnatural patterns. But none of these phenomena were hostile. Not yet. Inside Earth's orbiting stations, human teams monitored everything with calm precision. Millions of minds worked together, connected through neural interfaces, quantum networks, and predictive algorithms. They were not warriors. They were guardians. Doctor. Amina Voss observed the alien fleet's slow approach. She did not smile. She did not frown. She simply knew what had to be done. "They are about to see why we warned them," she said softly. Lion Chen, adjusting the containment grids on a holographic display, nodded. "It is time," he said. "They are not ready, but there is no turning back now." The anomaly beyond Pluto pulsed again, brighter this time. It was not a weapon. It was alive in its own way, an entity outside normal understanding, ancient and incomprehensible. Left unchecked, it could unravel solar systems, twist time, or erase reality itself. The aliens did not know this. They could only see a shimmer, a ripple, and feel unease deep in their bones. Suddenly, one of the alien ships faltered. It blinked as if reality had shifted beneath it. Instruments went dark. Crew members saw visions of stars twisting, planets folding in impossible ways. Then it returned to normal, but every alien on board understood one thing. They were witnessing forces beyond their comprehension. Amina Voss's calm voice came over the neural network. "Adjust the grids. Increase stability in Sector 5. Lion's hands flew over the controls. Streams of energy flowed across the containment fields. The anomaly pulsed again, reaching out, probing. Humans responded, not with violence but with precision. The wave of energy slowed, bent, and finally stabilized. The aliens watched in stunned silence. They had expected human defenses to be weapons. Instead, they saw humans manipulating reality itself with patience and intelligence. What are they doing?" whispered a Zalak scientist. "It is not combat. It is control, order. They are guiding reality." "Yes," replied the commander, voice trembling. "They are not fighting. They are protecting." The alien fleet now understood why humans had warned them. The blue and green planet had never sought empire, conquest, or glory. Humanity had stayed isolated because the galaxy itself depended on their vigilance. One of the larger anomalies pulsed violently, bending light in impossible ways. The aliens braced, expecting destruction, but humans were ready. Across the solar system, millions of minds connected through quantum networks, artists, engineers, scientists, even children playing with simple toys, all contributed to the stability of the grids. It was a symphony of human intelligence. Not one mind was wasted. Not one action was random. Each step, each adjustment, countered the chaos, anchored reality, and restrained the ancient entities beyond comprehension. For a brief moment, the alien commander felt what humans were feeling: responsibility. patience, awareness of forces that could destroy everything. They had assumed humans were small, fragile, insignificant. Now they saw that humans were essential. The entity beyond Pluto pulsed again, testing its limits. Reality trembled around it, yet humans responded instantly. Light bent harmlessly, gravity adjusted subtly, time flowed evenly. The entity recoiled, not violently but with recognition of the human presence. The aliens could not believe their eyes. Their instruments failed to measure the event, but their minds, primitive compared to human networks, felt its significance. Humans had no desire to conquer or harm, yet they could hold back forces that could destroy the galaxy itself. Amina spoke across the network. Maintain focus. Watch the energy flows. Any disruption, adjust immediately. Lion nodded. All systems stable. Minor fluctuations corrected. Reality holding steady. The alien commander, watching helplessly, realized the magnitude of what humans were capable of. They could end us all if they wanted, he muttered, and yet they do not. The human voice came calmly over the interstellar channels to the alien fleet. We never wanted to rule the galaxy. We only wanted to keep it safe. You were warned. You did not listen. For a moment the galaxy held its breath. Stars twinkled. Space itself seemed to wait. The alien fleet commander bowed, not in submission but in respect. We underestimated you, he said quietly. We thought you were young, weak, and fragile. We were wrong. You are something beyond anything we imagined. Across the solar system, the anomaly stabilized. The entity beyond Pluto withdrew, pulsing faintly as if acknowledging the human's control. The solar system returned to its calm, ordinary appearance, planets orbiting normally, stars shining predictably, space flowing evenly. Yet the aliens had seen the truth. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was not ordinary. Humanity was the quiet force holding reality itself together. One of the alien scientists, still trembling, asked, "If they are capable of this, why warn us instead of destroying us?" The commander shook his head. "Because they are not conquerors, they are stewards. They protect not for power but for responsibility. We have much to learn." Back on Earth, Amina and Lion observed the fleet. Humans had maintained their calm throughout. There was no celebration, no triumph. Their satisfaction was quiet, personal. They had succeeded in maintaining balance without lifting a weapon, without spilling blood. "We have done our part," Amina said. "The rest of the galaxy will understand soon enough." And they would. The Galactic Union convened urgently after witnessing the events. Reports poured in from the fleet. Instruments failed to explain what had happened. Scientists admitted they could not measure human abilities accurately. The only conclusion was clear. Humans were not to be challenged, underestimated, or interfered with. Earth was no longer a planet to observe casually. It was a guardian world, a civilization to respect, to study carefully, and to leave alone unless invited. Diplomatic channels were opened cautiously. Human representatives addressed the Galactic Union with calm authority. They did not demand respect. They did not threaten. They simply explained the truth. "We are not here to rule. We are here to protect. If you approach without understanding, you risk the stability of the galaxy itself." The message was clear. The galaxy listened. The alien fleet returned to their home systems, humbled and awed. They carried no stories of battle or conquest, only a story of human intelligence, endurance, and responsibility, one that would echo across civilizations for generations. On Earth, life returned to normal. Children played, scientists worked, and artists painted. Humanity had done the impossible. They had protected the galaxy without raising a weapon, without spilling blood, and without fear. The solar system remained quiet. The anomaly stabilized. The entities beyond Pluto remained restrained. Humanity had proven that intelligence, patience, and moral strength were greater than any weapon or fleet. Dr. Amina Voss looked at the stars and whispered, "They have learned." but some lessons are never fully understood until they are experienced. Lion Chen smiled faintly. Let them experience. It will teach them faster than words ever could. And far beyond the edges of the solar system, aliens told stories of a strange planet where humans lived quietly, but could hold back forces older than the stars themselves. They told stories of intelligence and patience, of calm and courage. They told stories of a species that did not conquer but protected everything. The galaxy had been warned. This time it listened. And humanity continued quietly, as always, watching, learning, and guarding the cosmos, not as conquerors, but as the keepers of balance.